you raised over $85,000 on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
That's a massive,
yeah, that was
massive
that
amount
was
of money.
incredible. There. Yeah, and I now forget the amount we were even looking for.
I think I was looking at it earlier. I think it was like you were trying to raise 35,000. I think.
Yeah, which is a lot of money.
That's a lot.
35,000 is a lot of money, and I had done several Kickstarters before, so I knew that I could do one. But I thought, well, this is a really big, kind of gamble here, being this vulnerable and open with my audience. And I said to my manager, this is, sometimes they fund in one day. Like I've heard that happening. It's not common, but I was like, if people really connect with this, it could really happen very quickly, like maybe a few days or maybe inside of a week or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a month-long campaign. It literally funded in just under 12 hours.
Woo!
And I mean, that was one of the most insane days of my life. Just watching all this very tangible expression of support.
Yeah.
By people I knew, but then by people that I didn't know.
And part of that Kickstarter story is, you were opening up about RP, which probably made you feel really nervous because, you're new to it, and it's a brand new feeling to kind of expose yourself that way to your fan base who has been following you for years, and then now you present them with this, and you're like, how are they going to react to it? And then
and then they do that,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was incredibly humbling. I mean, I'm kind of like more in the folk scene. Like there's a lot of access between me and my audience. I put out a monthly email newsletter. Anyone that replies to that newsletter, it goes right to me. I'll write back to people. Like I'm not this.
Where can people sign up for your newsletter?
At my website, which is just markerelli.com.
I'll have a link in the show description if people want to join his newsletter.
Yeah, and that's a conversation that I have with people eagerly and willingly. It's not like I'm not like on an arena stage and nobody people kind of see me up on the Jumbotron and that's it. Like I am a very approachable kind of person and an artist, and still there is part of like the persona that you have to have a persona that you put out there. It can't just be 100% you, because it's very vulnerable, and you need to keep a little bit back for yourself. And my persona was very natural and open, but it was not all of me. Yeah. And sharing this with my fans felt like a big chunk of what I had reserved for myself, which is, my personal health. I didn't talk about that very much, and also it was affecting my mental health. So, talking about that was revealing a lot more than I was initially comfortable with. But, again, it was in the art, and it was going to change how I toured and what gigs I could get to. And so I was like, you're going to have to talk about this at some point. You might as well just rip the Band-Aid off and be honest now. And I did that in the context of the Kickstarter, and, people showed an amazing amount of kindness that, I don't know how I'll ever repay, other than just to make the best record that I could possibly make.